Okay, so we had to read 3 readings this week. The first one was authenticity/sensitivity. I thought it was really interesting how they talked about how we wouldn't use names of people who died in the Vietnam War because they were in that article. They were like talking about how people get names wrong. And so I thought it was interesting that they brought up that we wouldn't use names of people who died in the Vietnam War in books, so why would we use Indians' names in books? They just think it's kind of rude. They know that Indians have feelings as well. Also, we need to try to do our best and not mix up books about Native Americans. We would feel kind of bad if they did that about people who were white. So like they were just talking in this article about how would you feel if somebody mixed up your religion or your hobby. How would you feel about it? Like if somebody mixed up my religion and said something not true about it, I'd be like, okay, you're kind of stupid in a way. I think you need to read up on something. Or they also mentioned in the reading about Abraham Lincoln, like, what if they said that he was the 10th president, right, rather than the 16th president? You would kind of lose your credibility towards the author. I also really liked what they mentioned in the reading, that when other authors write outside their own culture, it's their responsibility to consult other sources to make sure that what they're saying is valid, and I think it's their responsibility that they should make sure that the sources that they're reading and getting them from are true and accurate. The second reading that we did was Courageous Conversations. I didn't realize that race may be hard to talk about with some students, so that's really good to know. I'm a pretty easy person to talk to, and it was good to know that some students it might be hard for them to talk to about. But they mentioned 4 things, like how to talk to your students about race. Make sure that your student is engaged. They could lose focus, so make sure to bring them back and give them simple questions like, oh, how do you feel about that? Second, expect discomfort. There's going to be times where it's quiet. It doesn't mean that they're not thinking. It just means that they could be uncomfortable. So encourage students to find out information about their culture, which would make it probably more comfortable for them. Speak the truth was the third one. Many beliefs concerning race are based on misconceptions. And then again about the silence, don't mistake their silence because it could be uncomfortable for them for resistance. And then the fourth one, expect and accept lack of closure. And then the last reading that we had to do was the Bishop's reading. I did not understand what was going on with that. I didn't really even, I didn't understand anything about it. I didn't know what was going on. First they were talking about a mascot of the school, and then they were talking about marijuana, and then they were talking about Catholics, and then women in long black dresses. So I didn't really understand the reading or the point of it. But yeah, that's all I have to say about those 3.